From the Carl Chevrolet Studios in West Des Moines, this is Iowa Live.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. As you can see, right next to me is Professor Jeff Stein, but he doesn't look like he's in his normal studio location. Professor Stein, where are you?
I escaped, Lou. Good morning to you. I am at the Unidome in Cedar Falls. It's the 37th annual Hawkeye Farm Show. Me and a few thousand of my closest friends, and wanted to make sure we had time to join you for this important Iowa Almanac story that we only get to tell once every 4 years.
Right, because it is February the 29th, and something significant happened in rock and roll history on February 29th, right here in the state of Iowa. Sir, the floor is yours.
Well, we'll clean that floor up with this story. Now, people know, of course, February 3rd, 1959, 65 years ago this month, in fact. That, sadly, is when musicians Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the Big Bopper, along with their pilot, were all killed in a plane crash outside Mason City. Now, you folks know that story, but here's the part of the story many of you may not know. The coroner's death certificate went into detail about what Charles Holly, Buddy Holly, was wearing, went into detail about the fact there was a leather suitcase found near his body, and that they found personal effects, $200 in cash, 2 silver cufflinks, and the top portion of a ballpoint pen. But, Lou, they did not find his trademark eyeglasses, the signature heavy black frames that to this day are identified with the music icon. They were not found at the scene of the crash at the time, and in fact, for more than 20 years, they had been thought to be lost forever.
Wow, but apparently they were found, and how, and when did they find them?
Well, just a few months after the crash in 1959, obviously it was winter when the crash occurred, when the snow melted, the glasses were found. It was a violent crash, and Buddy Holly's glasses were thrown clear of the wreckage, buried in snow. Big Bopper's watch was actually found at that same time in the spring. So the folks who found the items turned them into the Cerro Gordo County Sheriff's Office, and they were tucked in a manila envelope labeled "Received April 7, 1959, and put in a file drawer.
Wow. So how did they end up getting found?
Okay, so fast forward to this date, February 29th of 1980. Sheriff Jerry Allen was going through file drawers, kind of doing some spring cleaning, and came upon the envelope. Now, the label did not indicate what case the material related to. So he looked inside, and that's where he found 2 pieces of rock and roll history. Well, Buddy Holly's parents claimed the glasses, as did his widow, Maria Elena. So there was a court fight, and the glasses were returned to Holly's widow about a year after they were rediscovered. Now, you can see them today. They're on display at the Buddy Holly Center in Lubbock, Texas. But Buddy Holly's eyeglasses, finally rediscovered, pulled from a file drawer after more than 20 years, and it happened on this date in 1980.
Definitely rock and roll history rediscovered on this day. Hey, hang on just a second, Professor Stein. There's something here behind me. There's an envelope. It says received April 7th, 1959 on here. I wonder what this has been here at this touchscreen TV for. Oh my goodness, Professor Stein, look at this. Look what I just found in this envelope. Look at this. We found some glasses. Just like
Buddy, is that you?
It is. Look at this. How about that? So we found them here too. So history has been made a couple of times on the 29th of February. How cool is that?
If the Crickets come in behind you with Sonny Curtis and you break into Peggy Sue, I'm walking off.
The only crickets you're going to hear are people commenting on this program. Those are the only crickets you're going to hear, Professor Stein. Now, if people want to get more information about the real story and the envelope that was found with Buddy Holly's glasses here back on this day in 1980, where can they go get all that information from, sir?
We don't usually bust the budget with props during this segment. It's iowaalmanac.com, iowaalmanac.com, and on the socials at Iowa Almanac.
All right, Professor Stein, you have yourself a great time at the farm show there, and tell all your throngs of fans that we said hi, and we will talk to you next time, sir.
Thanks for the effort, Lou. Appreciate
All right,
it.
you're very welcome. Hey, coming up tomorrow, very special visit from Variety, the children's charity, as we get set for 50 Years of Miracles this weekend on Iowa Live.